during the April 11, 2016 public meeting of the Fayette County Area Planning Commission to order. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Jason, could you pass me down that one of those extra agendas? Oh, the other one from Carl. You can sit up there.
I was in union negotiations, sorry.
That's okay.
Bev, would you take roll call?
Baptism by fire.
Oh, yeah, we're getting it.
Ryan Jennings,
Here.
Leota King,
Present.
Mark Flum,
Here.
Chad Frank,
Present.
Warren Sudoff,
Here.
Carl Hilton is absent, Ed Harrell,
Here.
Jason Waterman,
Here.
Dick O'Neill,
Present.
Bill McDaniel,
Present.
John Baker,
Here.
and then myself.
Okay, thank you. Okay, first up on our agenda is approval of minutes of the January 11th, 2016 APC meeting. And Bill has that in that stack of papers in front of
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes.
I'll second that.
you. Okay, any discussion? Okay, all in favor of approval of the minutes for January 11th, 2016 APC meeting, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same.
Okay. Yes. Now regarding the, the minutes from the special meeting on September 14th, I asked Ms. Rude to go ahead and prioritize the August 6th special meeting, but unfortunately she's left in a bit of a lurch than having to with the minutes. So she's working through it, and then with some suggestions from me, and I guess a lot of help from Debbie Kidd. So yeah, so it's a great deal of help from someone who has a lot of experience with minutes.
Yes.
Okay. I don't think that next item is for tonight, is it?
No, well, I also gave you new minutes.
okay.
It doesn't have that.
All right.
Yeah, that was yes. So I gave you
Okay.
that's why I gave everybody the corrected meeting agenda because of that.
Okay, the next thing on our agenda is home occupation special exception request for a one-person nail salon by Irene Foster, 1800 Grand Avenue. This is petition number 14051. We will open up the public hearing at this time, so Irene?
Do I need to-
Yeah, if you'd come up and tell us a little bit about what you're wanting.
Opened my home occupation for a nail salon that I've been doing nails since 1999, and I'm just ready to go home and do nails. I'm self-employed at home. That's pretty much the gist of it. I have everything prepared. The room is ready. I haven't called state yet to come in. Everything is ready for it. And I'm ready.
Okay. If maybe you could explain to what the state looks at. When you're
The state board when they come in?
the state board when they come in.
They look at everything, the cleanliness, the area that I want to have it in. When you come into my business, or half my home and half my business, how it's shut off. When they come into the house, the area that I'm doing my business in has to be in its own area. That's why when we bought this house, we decided it would be perfect for it, because there's 3 entrances, and the one coming off of it's a road or an alley. I don't know which one they
No,
call
there's
it.
18th Street.
Yes.
it looks like an alley, but it's actually a
Right.
street.
Yeah, yeah.
When you pull into there right off the side or in the front, or there's parking in the rear, I think it'll hold like 4 cars. When they come into the business, the living room and the kitchen have doors on them that will be shut off. The only thing that will be open is the dining room, and then the dining room goes straight into my business, which has a restroom of its own that is attached in the same room. That was a large requirement for that. And this is perfect.
Okay, and how about your hours of operation?
It is from 7 to 6.
Okay, and it's appointment only?
Appointment only, they're already scheduled, I already have my own clientele. When they come in, usually they'll either overlap for 10 minutes, 15, it depends how picky people are about how long they wanna dry their nails. You know, they'll come in, they have an hour, sometimes they'll sit, sometimes I'll get done early enough to where they can leave before the other person comes in, so there's usually one car that'll be setting for 45 minutes, and then it, you know, it overlaps.
So you might have at the most, typically, the most frequency would be, say, 2 visitors at one time?
Yes, and that'll last 10, 15 minutes maybe,
Okay,
if that.
and it's just strictly you, no employees?
Yes, yes.
How many days a week do you plan to?
I'm off Saturday and Sunday, Tuesday through Friday. I'm usually open 7 to 6. And then Saturday, I'm usually open from 7 to 3.
Okay.
Okay, and as we discussed previously, to make it clear that your clientele need to park in the back.
Yes, yes,
Yeah, I drove by the house, there's plenty of parking in the back.
yes,
The only thing I saw that you'd probably have to provide a handicap ramp.
yes.
Yeah, eventually, yeah.
That's why we've, just trying to get everything ready. I thought
Yeah.
about it today. I was like, I know that they're gonna say something about the hand, because the business that the one I'm in now, you don't have to have it because it's flat. But the one before that was a home, and it had to have a ramp too, so I knew that I would have to have one.
Yeah, okay.
And I'm gonna have it coming off the, I don't really want it coming off of the side,
Mhm.
because I don't know if I should have it come off the front or the side, I'm not really sure. The front, they can park right out front and push them right out, and it would come up straight and then onto the, because the porch is plenty big enough. Because if you have it in the back where the,
You got a wood deck back there.
yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, you could have it back there, but then you'd have to go all the way across, it just wouldn't work out right.
okay.
You'd have to go through the house, you know, more than, it'll be closed off. And they specify that the house will be closed during business hours.
Now 18th Street right there is a one-way.
I'm not sure.
I think at the stoplight it goes for one-way, doesn't Dick? Dick would know that. He does, okay.
One way from Grand over
Going
to
east.
Indiana.
Yes.
Yeah,
It's a strange little,
yeah. So if you were gonna use the side entrance, that's the south side? I mean?
yes, yes.
I didn't notice, do you have would they have to be out in the street to
I
get
have,
to
see,
that?
that's what I haven't figured out yet.
Okay,
I mean, they can go, when you look at it, it's got a sidewalk.
you got a
through
sidewalk
grass.
in the back, yes.
In the back, you have to go up, it's gonna be, you have to go up the deck, around and back around and onto the side. I mean, I can make it to where you can come through the mudroom, and then they'd have to go around. I don't know what state will say about that though, because you'll have to at least walk around the part of the kitchen.
Mhm.
You know, it won't be in the kitchen, you'll have to go around. I haven't talked to them yet, that's
Okay.
my next hurdle.
Well, in that area, to me, there's several other businesses in that area, so I don't see a problem with that, personally.
Has there been any neighbors or anybody that's objected to it?
I don't think so. We've had, nobody's here today, and we had all but one sent back of the papers we sent
Yeah,
to
the green
the
cards, yeah.
certified.
Yeah, I haven't received a phone call from anybody
Yeah.
concerning this.
Now, the neighbor next door, she was very nice about it. The one that lives right next to me. And then there's the alley, and then there's a gentleman that, I don't think he's home that, he's gone business all the time. but they've all been nice, super nice about everything.
Okay, so in addition to sending those out, you went around talking to your neighbors?
Yeah, I mean, when you're outside, obviously they're gonna talk to you,
Okay.
Any other questions for Ms. Foster? Any comments from the public? Okay, thank you. Okay. Any further discussion by board members? With that, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion that we approve this and pass it on to the DZA.
I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Okay, roll call.
Brian Jennings,
Yes.
Leota King,
Yes.
Mark Flum,
Yes.
Chad Frank,
Yes.
Warren Sudoff,
Yes.
Ed Harrell,
Yes.
Jason Waterman,
Yes.
Dick O'Neill,
Yes.
Bill McDaniel.
I don't vote.
He doesn't.
So, that's it. Sorry. Didn't know that.
He just hopes.
No,
Okay, a favorable motion will be sent to BZA, which is right after this meeting. Okay. Okay, next on the agenda is sign regulation discussion.
okay. Anybody have any questions about that memo I sent you? 'Cause I know there's a lot to absorb, and there's a lot of intricacies as far as some things go with that Supreme Court decision. So it's really gonna make for a lot of, as I get the opportunity here and there, I've done the easy part so far, which was stripping out some of the remaining language that could possibly be considered not content neutral, and then working on stripping out all the differentiations between different signs, different exemptions, because those were the two big items really as far as to start by getting it cleaned up. Then it's going to come to then whatever regulations are used are going to strictly be limited to size, location, and time. So so if we get successfully in all of that, we should have some reasonably good content neutral sign regulations. Now, what people need to be aware of is that there's a lot of things, some other things in the sign regulations, some of the rules in the sign regulations that make it a little more stringent as far as certain types of signs. Some of those things will probably be removed from the sign regulations. So there's some things in there that we might not be happy with, or people might not be pleased with, but we're going to have to find another way to deal with those types of issues. And so there's some things in there that could very well, the decision written by Justice Thomas does set it up for other things that weren't kicked out, or things that have to do with commercial signs and other types of signs. It opens the door ajar for other parts of the sign regulations being challenged under this particular ruling. And so ultimately, it's not just going to affect temporary signs.
Okay, so what are we looking at with the sign regulation? Are we gonna have,
Oh, they're gonna really, when it comes time, we're really gonna need to, it's gonna need to be replaced in its entirety. Be able to keep some sections of it, but it's just gonna be replace this document with another document. And I think it's gonna be a lot shorter.
anybody have questions for Bill regarding the sign regulations?
Time frame?
I'm really hoping that I can have a good discussion for a draft by the end of summer. as construction season's picking up, it's going to really get a lot busier with that. And and what I would like is, as I get to certain points, as I typically do with both Plan Commission and Zoning Board members, I'll send you copies of the drafts, with my comments, and then, as always, send back any sections you have comments or concerns or questions about.
Does it mean a change in signs that are already
No,
up?
no, those are
Things
all,
grandfathered in?
those are all legal conforming or legal non-conforming, so yeah. Everything that's there right now that is a legal sign will still be legal even if there's
What-
going to be changes.
What if an existing business decides to take down their sign? Would that follow that they have to follow the new guidelines?
It's typically the way it is if it's removed.
Okay.
For example, whenever somebody comes through, they're asking about, right now, some jurisdictions, when you replace a facing, they consider that a new sign. We never have. So as long as there is no change in the shape, the size, the square footage, and of the signs, and so the one that will be, as we spoke in the
Yes.
past, is the issue of sign height, and so one of the things that might be a constraint, say ideally it'd be nice if we had a lot more of the monument signs, but of course it isn't always going to be practical. But the thing with it would be making sure that any part of a sign that's, say, for example, right now it's between 3 and 9 feet, is actually back 20 feet from the actual edge of the travel lane. Maintain any part of the sign within 5 feet from the edge of the right-of-way.
Okay.
So this would give an opportunity if someone there's no other option than some type of freestanding sign, that would give them the option to move it back. And then as discussions with you, then probably having a total sign height that doesn't vary, but there's just a standard sign height, say, for individual stores. And then considering what to do about, say, shopping center signs, which would probably need to be a little taller.
Okay.
It reminds me of the fight we had with the billboards several years ago when, I'm not sure how many folks were here then. Several were. Some huge billboards were desired, and we were able to prevent that, but it was quite a fight. And the matter got tried in Wayne County, as I recall. It was ruled against, and then appealed by the sign company to Wayne County, and we got a judgment in our favor. But and then all the signs that were really large, they kept patching them up. I mean, they kept those things going
They did.
for a long time.
That's typically what they're still allowed to do. They can maintain as long as they maintain until the Armageddon.
Okay, anything else from the board for Bill regarding sign regulation? Okay, the next thing on our agenda is the director's report.
And the director's report is for the first 3 months of this year.
Okay, at this time, anybody have questions for Bill regarding the director's report?
I move to accept it as presented.
Okay, we have a motion to accept as presented, approve it,
Second.
and a second. Any questions, discussion? Okay, all in favor of approving the director's report, January through March, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Director's report is approved. Okay, any further discussion from members of the board?
Move to adjourn.
We have a motion and a second to adjourn. All in favor of adjournment, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We are adjourned.
I hereby call to order the Fayette County Board of Zoning Appeals meeting for April 11th. If you'd all please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you all for coming. First item on the agenda would be the roll call.
Carrie Steele,
Here.
Kenny Burgess,
Here.
Bill Crawford,
Here.
Ed Harrell,
Here.
Jason Waterman,
Here.
Bill McDaniel,
Present.
John Baker,
Here.
and myself.
All right, wonderful. Next item would be the approval of minutes from our meeting of February 11th, which everybody should have those minutes, which were pretty short.
I'll make a motion we approve them.
All right, do we have a second?
Second.
All right, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? All right, minutes approved. Okay, moving on. Next item of business would be election of officers. We have a vacancy in the vice chair position, so I would like to entertain nominations for vice chair.
I would nominate Carrie Steele.
I'll second that.
Any other nominations?
I move to close nominations.
All right, do we have a second to that motion?
I'll second it.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you, Carrie. Because I think it's pretty well unanimous, or at least 4-1, so, you know. All right. Now, public hearing for a home occupation exception to operate a one-person nail salon by Irene Foster. This was sent to us by the APC with a unanimous favorable recommendation. Location is at 1800 North Grand Avenue. So, Ms. Foster, if you'd come up and... I think everybody was here and heard your presentation before,
Yeah.
so if there's anything else that you missed, feel free to share.
I don't think so. I pretty much summed it up.
Okay. Any questions for Ms. Foster?
I was gonna ask about the sign. I seen there was a little picture there. It said you was gonna have a sign.
Yes.
Is it just gonna be like two stakes in the ground type sign?
No, there's a beauty salon down the street from the funeral home that I looked at that's on the side of the house. And I already have my sign ready, I just haven't put it up yet. It's gonna be right on the side
Oh, okay.
That's definitely the preferred method within the zoning code
to be on the house.
for the home occupation.
Yeah, yeah, well, theirs looked really nice, hanging on the side by their door. I was like, I think I wanna do the same thing.
Yep.
The way it's not in the way.
Yeah.
So it's within limits of the 2x2.
by 2.
right?
Yeah,
It's
square
4
footage.
Yeah,
Yeah.
4 square feet
yeah.
as
Yeah.
opposed to 4 feet square.
Is it 4x4? Is it all the way around the same? Is that what it is?
2
It's
feet.
a 2x2
Two
sign.
by two soon? Okay.
And then there's also the question, since Ms. Foster's going to have your clientele's gonna park in the back, did you have a desire, then need to also have a sign in the back, at least the entrance or some type of sign with that?
For parking?
Yeah, for
Parking
parking
sign?
and then to say, in this way?
Yes. Well, I mean, I can, whatever you guys want.
Okay, well,
I mean, I've done all their nails for so many years. All I gotta do is text them and tell them or call them and tell them. You know, I've done almost every one of them since I've started.
okay.
So they're gonna walk around the alleyway to get in?
No, that's what we're gonna have to decide. Now, I've got a couple older ones that I probably wouldn't mind that their husband let them out on the side, which on the side where you can park, because I park on the side all the time on the road or alley, whichever you wanna call it.
18th Street.
Yeah, 18th Street. You can pull right in the side there on my house.
Do a drop off?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because there's gonna be a couple drop-offs. Some of them I won't, you know, there's older ladies, I won't make them walk all the way back here, but the younger ones, they don't care. They'll walk through the back where the sidewalk is and then around,
All right.
yeah.
I saw you had a beware the dog sign.
Oh, that's Pepper. I found that sign, it was left there. I was like, I'm gonna put this in the window. Pepper's an English bulldog. She went, I know, she might hurt herself.
I'm glad Mark Flum brought up about the accessibility thing.
So that
way it
sign
wouldn't
worked,
be-
didn't it? Beware of dogs.
Scared
Which I don't
me.
need anymore because we got an alarm system on the house. I just stuck it up there for the fun of it.
But yeah, I was concerned about the ADA thing as far as getting into the house.
Oh, it's
And,
only, yeah, You mean the alarm system that's in the
I'm
house?
talking about the ramp.
Oh, the ramp?
Yeah, that you were talking
Yes.
about, that
I still am undecided. I think the best place for it would be out front. Just,
It looked like you could run it like along the side and then have a platform at the top of it that just turns back into that side end.
yeah,
You could do it that
Yeah,
way.
well,
And that way the ramp wouldn't be out towards the front sidewalk.
well, if
so
you,
that, not at the, because not facing the front of the house, not what you're talking about, because there's the front that we don't use that door,
Right.
and then there's the side door, and then there's a back door. So you're talking about the,
So the ramp would run in parallel with the alley or road,
Yeah.
18th Street. And then at the top of it, you have a platform where they can turn and go towards the porch.
okay,
That's just a thought that I was looking at when I was there.
yeah. It's so difficult getting all that ready. Figure out just the right place for everything.
and it really doesn't make any difference either place as long as you have it. When people, anybody can get, I don't see me coming in and getting my nails done anytime
Yeah.
soon, but
Right.
there are people that,
Oh, yeah.
that need that, so.
I
Yeah.
just didn't think there was enough room in the front to get clearance between the sidewalk and her.
Yeah, I
porch.
agree. When I went by, I was looking at the back and the deck, you could build off of the deck and build a ramp even if you
For a
zigzag
home
it.
occupation,
Right.
would she
Yeah.
be required to comply even with the home occupation?
Yeah, I think everybody, well, Jill, she had a ramp. I mean, that's
Yeah,
it.
but hers is
that's
more
it.
of a,
Yeah.
yeah, so
Yeah,
that's
I
what
mean,
I
if you're
was,
gonna have the
yeah.
public coming, then you
Yeah.
have to
Right.
be
Right.
accessible.
Well,
yeah,
see,
well, who,
Do I like the ramps? I don't want it to be the main, because sometimes people make mistakes and make it the main part of the entrance, and
Okay.
it's such a,
that would just be something you'd really want to make clear
Yeah.
with whoever you're, the contractor.
right.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
like to have two, because I think that was a big problem in a couple other places I've looked at, not having two different ways of getting in the business.
Yeah.
As far as the steepness, it's supposed to be
Yes.
1 inch per foot, so, so it's not too steep.
Yeah,
So
right.
for every foot can only go up 1
Yeah.
inch, so just to give you an idea.
Right.
But like what Carrie was saying is if you have businesses have to go by certain rules, and then at home, you have home occupations that don't have to go by those rules, and it's just not fair, it wouldn't be fair, so it's
Yeah,
not that way.
I'm willing to do whatever.
Yeah, yeah, and that's good.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I'm ready to go home and work, be home with Mila in the summers and whenever it's time.
Any other questions or a motion?
I'll make a motion that we approve it as long as the ramp's done to code
Mhm.
first, wherever you decide to put it. That's my motion.
I'll second that.
All right, thank you, Bill. Did
Can,
you do the
is
roll?
there any discussion?
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so I like it, but financially, I don't know. Yes, it gives her a little bit of an advantage. Can we make that maybe not before she gets started, but within a certain time frame for the ramp?
I don't care.
Because I will, I know what I have to have. I've been,
Go ahead.
go ahead, no, I'm not. Go ahead.
I'm just afraid of it lingering and
No.
it never getting done, so.
I don't linger at anything. Once I make my mind up to do it.
Are you okay with it, the way he proposed it, where you'd have to have the ramp done before you could start, before you could open?
Well, I like the one you said better, but
could make
it's
it 30
whichever
days.
one.
Well, of
I
course.
mean, it-
Well, how long?
I was gonna say like 6 months, just to give her
That's-
through,
okay.
like the fall essentially. Is what
That's-
yeah,
I'll
because
amend
we
it
already
to
have
that.
somebody
That's-
ready to build one. But where do I get get on the internet and find out?
Well, I also
exactly
have the
everything?
information in the office.
Yeah.
You do?
I can give you copies.
Sweet.
I give a lot of people copies on ramps information.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah.
All right,
So
so
I'll just print the things
could
out.
you,
of
could you
state.
restate your
I
amended?
will amend that to within 6 months, you have the ramp done.
Okay.
I'll approve it.
Now, the entrance, when I call state in, they're like the holy, when they come in and look at everything, I don't know how they'll feel. I'm gonna have to figure out a different way. I mean, if I have them come through the back and around, I don't know if they get it. We'll just meet all in the middle, and when state comes, if I feel like anything else is different, I'll get a hold of you, or, not with the ramp or anything, it's just with the entrance part.
Well, see, I called them today and talked to them about the ADA part, and they had no interest in that at all. And apparently, there's already laws that state you have to do this, so they don't have to deal with that.
Yes.
So, but I agree with you. If you have to go through your house to get You know,
Yeah.
if a ramp takes you to the wrong door,
No, it's-
it wouldn't
yeah.
be, that wouldn't be feasible for you.
Yeah, but the ramp's not even a problem. I mean, if I had to have the ramp in a certain part where they had to come to the, because the back door is wider, and the two front doors are, it's an older home, so the two front doors, I think they're like 32 wide.
At least,
That'd be
yeah.
right.
Mhm.
And the back one is wider, I know, so if I had to have just a special entrance for that, that would be, I'm sure they would be fine with that.
Yeah.
You know,
So
and
that-
then just use the other one for when people just come in, my regular customers that,
Okay. Well, that'd be your prerogative,
Yeah.
whichever door you
However
wanna
you-
use.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they're so weird about what door they can have.
So it's 30, or 6 months from the day she gets her permit, right?
Mhm.
Sure.
All right. You concur with the amendment, since you
Yes.
seconded the first one?
Yes.
All right,
Thank you.
very good.
Sure. I-
Any
No,
other
no, I-
discussion? Nope, all right. Bev, if you do the roll call.
Carrie Steele,
Yes.
Kenny Burgess,
Yes.
Bill Crawford,
Yes.
Ed Harrell,
Yes.
Jason Waterman.
Yes. All right. Congratulations.
Thank you, thank you.
So what's our next step?
Next step is come into my office and we'll issue the home occupation permit.
Okay, and then we'll get the other paperwork for their.
Yeah, I'll give you the information on the, for the ramp and so
Okay,
on.
all right, all right, thank you.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank
Good
you.
luck.
Bill, I've wondered before about the permits that you give out for all this.
Yeah.
Is there any way you can get it in the permit somewhere about the handicap ADA thing? There's gonna be a day to where I won't be here. I won't be the one to sit and, you know what I mean? And just ask that question, are you, maybe not handicap accessible?
Thank you.
You know,
Thank you.
if you were to look at every business in the country, probably there's none that are, you know, legal, if you get down to the, you know,
Well, this might be the one also, is I think probably the best way to do this also is in addition to having it in the permit, you know, the application would be as we've talked about, really just replacing the home occupation regulation. Just having in place that all home occupations that have visitors must meet the requirements of ADA accessibility. for
that
entering
would
the
be
building.
fine, yeah, that would
Yeah.
be fine.
Yeah,
I'll cover it for you.
yeah, because
Good. You'll outlast me.
Well, for example, is because if we do that, that's along the lines with, okay, you've talked in the past about that thing called a Rule 13. That's for the conversion with, say you have a house, you're gonna have it as a class one, I know Bill's familiar with these. But it's on the part of the Indiana Fire and Building Commission, so they have this Rule 13. That allows, say, someone to convert a house into a business, just not any type of business, but just certain types of businesses. And one of the things they can do is they require the AD access in, but the state of Indiana doesn't look at the, say, the toilet facilities, whether those are ADA. And the whole idea with the Rule 13 is to make sure that someone can use it, you know, doesn't necessarily make sense for this to continue to be a residential use. So someone doesn't have to put in all this expense as if it was a new Class 1 building.
Well, I think it hurts the town too if people abandon their businesses in the business districts and go have it in their house because it's cheaper for whatever reason. That doesn't make any sense either, so.
Yeah. And, well, that's why there's certain businesses that make sense and then other businesses, whereas looking at it as well, as we've talked in the past, one point is to look at a home occupation as an incubator.
Right.
So the idea is to help someone start with a home occupation, when it gets a certain point, boom, out and off.
But we've seen the opposite of that in the last few years, and it's because of the economy, I think.
Yeah.
You know, people are going from their job they've had for years and they're going back to their house because it's cheaper, because they gotta
Yeah.
save money. So it's kind of
Yeah.
the other route.
Yeah, because a lot of people, when they start off with a home occupation also is that there isn't a flow of income to cover a lot of initial, overhead with it. So,
Okay.
One other thing, you were talking about signs earlier in the APC,
Yeah.
and me and Jason, we fought that battle years ago, didn't we? Would you want to, I think it would be good for you to have a committee
Yeah.
at some point where we could work together on it
Yeah.
and help you with it.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. 'Cause that's why I just want to get everything together first, and we'll, do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think he's volunteering.
Sounds like
That's
it
what
to
I
me.
was like,
Yeah.
I already don't hate Kenny game.
We
Yeah.
fought for so long on the last one.
Oh, yeah.
You don't wanna lose everything.
Sure enough.
Yeah, because unfortunately, some of the things that are in there that we have in these current sign regulations, we aren't gonna be able to have.
Right.
Yeah. So there's other ways to go about getting the same result without some of the same language.
Right, and that's what we have to work on.
Yeah, just like the, for example, off-premise signs that's one that's liable to be questionable, even making that differentiation. So this is where you get into what the maximum size is. What we have right there is say one freestanding line per business lot is so you just have the one freestanding sign, but the other one is then spacing between signs along the right of way also.
Is there any new businesses coming to town, Bill? Besides Burger King?
No,
It's
they're
not
just
new.
gonna move, so. But, then there's the shoe show that they're working on.
What are they doing with that?
It's one of the tenancies right next to where the Dollar Tree is at.
Yeah, I know that, but where, okay.
That's where shoe
Oh,
show's gonna
okay, I
be.
get it.
Yeah,
This issue.
yeah.
Is that right? You know about it.
I do.
All right, well, let's get back to our agenda here. The next item is the director's report.
I'll move to approve.
A second.
All right. Discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Awesome. You're off the hook.
Okay.
All right, and that's all.
You know, I just thought at times I could probably make a reference to the Calaveras frog and nobody would still call me on it.
Because they don't want to hear the
I move
explanation.
to adjourn.
Thank you, Sherry. Do we have a second for that?
Second.
All right, thank you very much. Meeting adjourned.